Hello,
Um,
everybody, and welcome back to another episode about the movies with William Fletcher. As per usual, I am your host, William Fletcher, and I am joined, as I have been many a time, by Mr. Barney Metcalf.
hello. We're also being joined by my cat Thomas, who's sat here.
Mm, I swear I can hear purring through the.
Yeah,
If we can talk about purring,
he's sat
I
right
can
next.
definitely hear. I can hear purring through the mic.
That's going to be the most of his contributions.
The review of the year, part 1 of 2, as we do. It's gonna be the first part. We're going to talk about the first 6-ish months worth of podcasts, maybe a bit more, and then next week will be the rest of the film. So we're going to talk about the first few films. I'm not going to tell you what they are. If you don't remember, we'll just talk about them as we go through. But I have seen everything we're going to be talking about today. Barney has been over the past few days going through and catching up on all the things that he hadn't seen, which was
I've
quite
seen
a few.
about half of these,
Yeah.
but yeah.
Yeah,
Well, if we count all the Oscar films, more than half. But
more than yeah. But yeah, so we began the year with an episode on Mean Girls because they did a remake. It's technically a remake, but it's like but more accurately, it is an adaptation of the stage musical Mean Girls, which I was very much looking forward to as a fan of the musical and just musicals in general. Like I like my musicals. And
we're both on record as saying that we both quite like musicals.
I think so. We did Little Shop of Horrors
Yeah,
last year, so I think it must have come
film.
up then. It is my favorite film. But yeah, Mean Girls. I talked about Mean Girls. You didn't talk about Mean Girls. But I think you and I both are sort of similar. Have similar feelings about Mean Girls in that we both like it, but we don't love it.
Pretty much. Yeah, I like Mean
Yeah.
Girls. I think it's a good film.
Yeah.
I'm not a super fan though.
Yeah. I mean, people love Mean Girls, dude. Like
Oh yeah,
Mean
they're
Girls,
mad. They can't get
and
enough of
it's
Mean
yeah.
Girls.
Yeah, and it's just like, oh man, let's talk, and just the problem with the original Mean Girls is it's so like over quoted and overplayed that it's come around to me not liking it almost now.
I'm not quite in that area. I don't have it quoted to me that much, although sometimes I'll see stuff on social media.
I mean, yeah, people were, yeah, I mean the mark for this Mean Girls 2024 movie, the marketing was terrible, because Hollywood doesn't like marketing musicals as musicals.
No,
um, which is the most irritating thing to me. It's just like, yeah, I get it. People don't like musicals, but like, you're
I don't know
you're
why.
trying to. I don't know what. No, I don't see what. I don't understand why. Because I guarantee people are like, I hate musicals, but then they'll go watch like Disney films and they'll be like, oh,
Yeah,
I love The Lion King, and I'm like, it's the same thing. I don't understand. It's such a bizarre like.
it's a strange world we
I
live
don't.
in.
I think people like yeah. Um, But yeah, the 2020. I saw this on the opening day. I went with a mate, and we were like the only days in a theater of girls. Like it was like teenage girls, and I just like, oh,
All of the
it's
girlies
so
around.
awkward being here. Yeah, and yeah, so we saw it, and I mean, I really liked it. I know it's some people don't like it,
It's
but
really mixed the reception for this song.
yeah, it was very. I mean, I know people who think it's like one of the worst films of the year, and I'm
That's
like,
madness.
come on.
Yeah,
But yeah, I mean, the reception was mixed. It's got a 5.6 on IMDb, 69% on Rotten Tomatoes, and a 2.6 on Letterboxd. So that's
oh, come on. What? Come on, people.
exceedingly.
Sort yourself out.
Just for comparison, I want to compare the original Mean Girls because it's going to be higher. Like, there's no way
Yeah,
it's not.
Mean Girls is going to be
By
something
the way,
like 7 or something.
it's got a 7.1 on IMDb, an
Oh, lower that.
84% on Rotten Tomatoes, and a 3.8 on Letterboxd. Yeah, I mean, straight up, I really liked this Mean Girls film. I thought it
I'm
was really
gonna
fun.
come out and say it. I think this is better than the first film, original one.
Yeah, I agree. I don't give a shit. I thought it was really
This is why
fun.
we're going to lose all of our credibility and people are going to stop listening. unless
Yeah,
they
well,
like the film.
I said The Godfather wasn't that good, so I feel like I lost it quite a while ago, to be honest.
Well, to be
Uh,
fair, I do agree with you there. Even though I do quite like them, they're
yeah.
not that amazing.
I also I don't have massive amount of reverence for the original Mean Girls. Like, I like it. I think
Yeah,
it's
neither do
good.
I.
But like
Yeah.
I don't want to say I can look at this objectively because that just sounds like condescending. But I'm not going in with like hype. Like I'm not comparing it to the original. I think there's a lot of people who love that original Mean Girls film,
Yeah,
and I'm not
but
doing that.
they're
I'm just like I
definitely
don't.
comparing to instead of taking it for what it is.
Yeah, and I'm just like, and I love the stage show. Well, I've never seen the stage show, but I love the soundtrack for the Mean Girls musical. I think the soundtrack
Yeah,
is fantastic.
I've never seen the stage show, but yeah, I think the music's really good. And
And
it's
to be
not really
fair,
it's not really the sort of music I usually like, but just that sort of style. But I did quite like it here.
yeah. I will say I don't think the film does an amazing job of like translating the songs to the film. It not all of them.
No,
I
I
think some
think
of them are translated well. I think some of them work really well. I think probably the best song in the film, in terms of like how it's portrayed in the film, is I don't remember which song it's called, but it's the one where there's like the party and it's like got
oh,
the strobe lights going.
we're gonna cure some sexy cancer. One with that line.
No, it's the song after that. It's the one with Regina George. It's like
Uh,
there's the
it's
second. Oh,
oh
someone
yeah.
gets hurt. That's the song.
Oh, that one. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that one I thought was just the way that scene was like put together. I thought that was fantastic.
Yeah, no, that was cool. I like that. I mean, I think
But yeah,
the one I mentioned just then with kind of dumb one singing about Halloween. I think
yeah,
that one's done really well.
yeah. I thought that's one of my favorite songs from the original show, and I was like, okay. And when I initially heard rumors they were cutting it. I'm like, why? That's one of the
Oh,
best songs. And then
don't do
they
it.
didn't, and I was like, oh, good. That's great. Yeah, I thought it was really fun. Which some people didn't care for this film, but like they're just not.
Boring.
Yeah. But the film didn't do a great job with "Meet the Plastics" though, which is like again one of the best songs
Karen Smith, the dumbest
in
person you will ever
the stage
meet.
show.
I once saw her put a
I
D in the
"Meet
word
the Plastics"
orange.
is one of the best songs.
My name is Karen, my hair is shiny, my teeth are perfect, my skirt is tiny, it barely covers my perky hiney. My name is Karen, I may not be smart. That's it.
I mean, it's just you meet the Plastics, and they've all their own bits. It's great. And also Apex Predator is one of my other favorites from the
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
soundtrack.
Yeah.
And I thought it was alright. I liked how they did it here, but I mean the stage show's version is better. The fact that like this film because this film, I feel like this film had been in development for a while. Like I'd heard about it for years. Like they'd been
Since they made the stage show, it's been like, oh, that'll be a film one day.
Yeah, so in January 2020, Tina Fey stated that a film adaptation of the show was in development, and then COVID happened, so they couldn't make it. And then so they filmed it. I don't know when they filmed it in like 2023, so they filmed it March to April 2023. So they filmed it in March and April. So I mean I really liked it. I thought the cast on the whole were quite good. I know that's hideously controversial, but like I thought this film's cast kind of improved on most of the original film's cast, if I'm being like completely honest.
I mean,
not all of them.
Yeah, not everyone, but a great many of them.
Yeah, like I think Katie is like better in this version because
which one
I don't know.
that?
I feel like that's the main girl.
Oh right, yes. I got that was her name.
Yeah, good on them. Yeah, I thought because I just think Lindsay Lohan. There's no character to Lindsay Lohan in the original
Yeah,
Mean
kind of
Girls.
generally Lindsay Lohan-ish.
Yeah, there's Renee Rapp as Regina George,
Yeah, no, she was really good.
who I thought was really good. I don't. Maybe I like her more than Rachel McCann. I don't know if I like her more than Rachel McCann. I mean,
Um,
it is. I mean, it is kind of different what they're being required to do. Like Renee Rapp
yeah,
did,
no,
like
they do feel very different.
having to sing, and she also wrote a song for it as well, I believe.
Oh wow.
Because she's well, she is a musician. Like she does make music. That's like what she does primarily. But she also just happens to also act
Yeah,
occasionally.
Mean Girl.
Which I mean, I guess that's a fair point. You want good singers for a film. Which, to be fair, the main actress doesn't isn't a great singer, admittedly.
Oh no, I thought she was quite good.
Like she was fine. She just wasn't like yeah, no, she wasn't bad. She was just like not amazing. But you know, I don't think much of the singing is that great. Although you've got the actor who played Moana as
Yes, of course. She's the
Janice.
lesbian.
Which, by the way, that's one of the better changes this film made. Is
Asian
she
improvement
doesn't
here.
yeah. Is she just doesn't get with that random guy at the end, like in the original Mean Girls. She just gets with that guy at the end for no reason. By the
Well, yeah,
way,
in the original film, the reason her and Regina George fell out is because Regina told everyone that she was gay when she wasn't.
yeah,
Whereas here, Regina George outed her,
yeah.
which
Which I think is works better. To be honest, I
yeah,
think that's a more interesting. They like actually make her a lesbian. Like because if I remember, she's like with a girl at the end, unless I'm
I think so.
misremembering, which is like good. That's good. It like look, I'm not one
Okay.
to um complain about things being like dated or like comedy not aging well, but like there are some moments in that original Mean Girls where it's like, I don't know if this like completely works.
Hold up very well.
Yeah, there's that weird subplot with like the Asian girls who are like sleeping with the like gym teacher, which is just like
Oh yeah.
that's
Ooh.
so weird. I don't like why did we did that was and I've talked to people about this and they're like it's just like it's a joke, it's like a throwaway subplot and I'm like I don't I don't think that's really a good justification.
Oh,
Like because it's not funny, which is the
no,
problem. If it was
oh yeah, the teacher sleeping with his student.
Yeah, if it was funny, then like sure, I don't care. But it's not funny. It's just really weird.
Yeah.
There's like a bit where one of the Asian characters says the N word, which is just like, what are we doing, guys?
I forgot about
Like,
that bit.
yeah, there's a bit where
Oh,
they're
yeah.
all like, all the girls are like in the like, what the fuck do they call it? Gym or whatever. Like the
Oh yeah, yeah.
yeah. There's a bit where they say the N word. I'm just like, okay, we don't need that. Yeah, so I thought this film was actually quite funny. I'm going to be completely honest. I thought
I found it
this new
really
Mean
funny.
Girls was actually quite funny. The bit that got me the most, and I don't know why, is there's the bit where Janice and Katie like fall out, and then there's a Damien on a mobility scooter for some
Yeah.
reason instead of like, and I don't know why, but that really tickled me. I was like, oh, that's actually quite funny.
You know what?
I
I
don't know
think
why.
there was a bit where one of the guys that's on like the quiz team that Katie's on, some guy is walking past, he like insults him. He's like, "Shut up, Garrett! Get off my dick!" I don't know why. It's quite crude, but just the
Yeah.
delivery of it was good.
But yeah, I thought it. Yeah, I thought it was really good, and I hope that we get more films based on stage musicals.
Yeah,
Like,
I'm still waiting for that Book of Mormon film, which we
well,
probably
they've been
won't get
talking
for a
about
while.
making
They're
it for
working
like a
on something.
decade.
Yeah,
Like they've been
and then
saying
Parker and Matt Stone are doing something with who is it? They're doing a film with
Kendrick
Drake or something?
Lamar.
Kendrick Lamar. That's it.
Yeah, which I will say I'm really looking forward to because it's more just because it's Trey Parker and Matt Stone doing a non-South Park thing for the
Yeah,
first
that's
time in
always
about
a
a
treat.
decade.
Yeah.
And you know, I'm a big fan of Trey Parker and Matt Stone as like creatives, so I'm all for them making new shit. But I mean, on the whole, I thought it was really fun. I had a really good time watching it. I thought it was just really funny. And yeah, it's in. I won't tell you where it is, but it is in my top 10 films of 2024 as we are recording this. So
Yes, it's currently
I
in my. Well,
I give it a very sturdy 8 out of 10. I really liked it.
I mean, I repeat your sentiment. Everything's just more fun if it's a musical, I find.
Yeah,
Um,
let's just be honest. Musicals make things
it's just a really good way to spend your time.
Mm.
I also give this film a very, very strong 8 out of 10.
Good start. I don't know if it's gonna last though, because next up, if I'm
Tell you,
correct,
tell you what, no, it's not.
is Kung Fu Panda. I believe is the next film on the list here.
That's what I'm looking at.
But yeah, Kung Fu Panda. I like the original Kung Fu Panda films.
So do I. I don't love them.
First one's the best one, I think.
I agree. I don't get why people say Kung Fu Panda 2 is the best one.
It's like the people who say Shrek 2 is better, and it's like, no, it's not.
No, not really.
Well, it's that kind of thing where it's like everyone's like. I also anyone who says I'm gonna be honest. I rewatched the original Star Wars trilogy, and the original Star Wars is the best Star Wars.
Correct.
Empire Strikes Back is not as good. It's got much
Yes.
bigger issues with it than the original Star Wars. The original Star Wars is the best Star
I
Wars.
really like Empire, but saying it's the best one is absolute nonsense.
But yeah, so we've got Kung Fu Panda 4. I didn't see it at the cinema. I
Neither
didn't
did I.
have
I didn't think it
real
was worth my time.
Yeah, Kung Fu Panda 4 wasn't very good. Yeah, it's not good. It's very much not a good film.
I wouldn't say it's a bad film. I found it profoundly unremarkable.
Yeah, it was very. I had it on while I was doing other things, so I probably didn't hate it as much. But it was like it wasn't like it was an unwatchable film. It was just like I don't need this in my life.
It just passed over me. It has left no effect on me whatsoever.
Yeah. Yeah. I can also. Yeah.
be honest.
Can I just say? Can we stop putting Aquafina in things now? Like, I don't.
I'm
I don't
getting a bit
dislike.
fed up of her showing up as kind of wacky sidekicks.
I don't dislike Aquafina. I think she's done some good acting. She's just in fucking everything. She's in like too many things, and she just does the same thing in
It's kind of
every.
actionery.
Yeah,
She's
like
it has the most irritating song in the Little Mermaid remake.
don't remind me of the fucking Scuttlebutt guy. Like what? That is.
It's
I
dreadful,
think
isn't it?
it might. Is it the it? It's a contender for the worst thing I've just like ever heard in my life.
It's offensive to my ears.
Yeah, it was completely unremarkable to me. I really don't like. I just don't. I was gonna say I mean, it made money, so it clearly worked out for DreamWorks because it made a fucking shitload of money for them. Because the Jack Black is still
The Jack Black.
I think Jack Black's still popular. I don't know, the whole
Yeah,
Tenacious
people
D
love him.
situation might have soured a few people on him, but
The Minecraft movie.
I've
Phenomenal performance. Bringing back all of those past villains and stuff.
I thought that was really
happy grab at bringing people in. Like, oh look, it's Tai Lung.
yeah, and it's the other ones, the Gary Oldman one, but we don't have Gary Oldman because
That's not Gary Oldman.
he's expensive, and we don't have J.K. Simmons either. And I'm just like, why would you not like J.K. Simmons and Gary Oldman have got great voices. I mean, Ian McShane does as well, but
I'm curious that Ian McShane came back.
Yeah, I presume he's probably not as expensive as Gary Oldman.
No, he won't be, but he's still pretty expensive, I'd imagine.
Yeah, well, he's pretty committed to those Mission Impossible films. He'd be doing them John Wick films as well, I believe. Oh, yeah. Like was he in Mission Impossible, or am I confusing him?
No, I think that's a different guy you're thinking of.
Oh, but there is a guy who's like an Ian McShane-esque guy.
Yeah, I
in
know the
those.
one you're thinking of. I'm just looking him up.
Yeah, I did. There's also a cameo from Mr. Beast, which is just like why.
I only just saw that when I looked this up.
God,
I'm
Mr.
I'm
Beast,
baffled.
fucking, he's he's a
He
piece
can
of
fuck
shit.
off as well. Actually, I'm
Yeah.
tired of Mr.
Well, everyone realizes he's a piece of shit now. Everyone's
Dickhead.
finally agreeing that a guy who's worth who owns millions of dollars isn't actually a very good person. Like, who would have thought, right?
What a shock!
I mean, I really can't remember much of this film. There's Viola Davis, is it? Is she the villain in this?
Yeah, I didn't even know it was her until her name popped up at the end. I was
Yeah,
like,
I knew she was in it, and I'm like, is she the bad guy? And I'm like, oh yeah, she is. And she's
he was
a
in there.
what is she, a chameleon? Is it?
Yeah,
That's what that. Which is like, I think that's a cool idea for like a villain in this kind of film, but I don't know, it doesn't quite work because I
didn't really
feel
do
like
much with it.
no, and it's just sort of the most obvious things they do. Like there'll be a character talking, they think they're like talking to someone else, and then what?
Oh no, it's them. Ooh.
It's yeah, and it's just like I don't want to get all logic policey on this, but she changes size
Yeah,
and
same. I was
mass.
thinking. I was saying she's able to
Like
replicate mass.
yeah, like she's able to grow like several meters in
Yeah,
height
she was
and
massive at one point.
width, and I'm like I'm all for like I all for like transformation, like characters could transform into other people, but like at a certain point you kind of need to have a bit of like
I was
rules to
gonna
it.
say, aliens can't do that.
Yeah, exactly. They blend in. They don't even transform into other
Yeah,
animals. They just
it's still a
blend
chameleon.
into plants. They blend into their surroundings, which is fine. I'm okay with that. They don't need to be able to transform. And if they should do, it should just be like that Homer Simpson meme where he's skinny in the front and then all the fat is just like hanging loose at the
Oh.
end. It should just be that. Like I wish more film like committed to that, where
Yeah.
they've got like characters who transform, and then they've just got all this excess
Such a
fat.
mess that they don't have anything to do with
That
it.
would just be
Yeah, I'd watch that.
yeah. But no, I didn't care for the film. I really I
It was-
can't remember.
It was very easy to watch, but it had no effect on me whatsoever.
Oh yeah, no, it's completely fine to watch. I don't think it's like
I wouldn't
terrible.
call it a good use of time, though.
No, I could have watched much better films in that 90-minute period.
Yeah.
And also Jack Black did a cover of
Oh,
"Hit Me, Baby"
one more time. I did like that.
time.
I
For
quite
some
enjoyed it.
reason, I thought I liked that, but I don't know what the point of it was because I don't think
Yeah,
it
it was a curious choice for a
really.
song, but I liked it.
Yeah, I mean, I like it when Jack Black covers songs. I just don't know what the like when he did Kung Fu Fighting in the first film. That makes sense.
Yes.
Like that's appropriate for
Right there,
the
it's great.
film. Here, it's just a song I guess he likes.
Britney Spears.
Yeah. I give Kung Fu Panda a 5.
Fair.
I don't really know why. I didn't have any problem watching it. It just didn't do much for me.
I gave it a 6 out of 10. I feel like it's generous, but I'm not that strong on it, so I thought, yeah, 6, that'll do.
Yeah. Then we followed that up with a look at the Oscars, the 2024 Academy Awards, which I watched live, which was
I didn't.
enjoyable. Well, you hadn't seen all the films, like you were catching up on the Oscar films, like
Yeah, I watched American
week.
Fiction the day of the Oscars.
Yeah. I mean, MGM didn't release that film here properly, which was very
It was annoying.
irritating because MGM sucks at releasing films here apparently. Yeah, I mean the Oscars. I liked most of the Best Picture nominated films, except Maestro, which I thought
My show was rubbish.
was terrible, and I also thought Past Lives was a bit shit, to be honest.
Yeah, it wasn't amazing.
Yeah. But let's talk about the sort of the ones that matter really.
Yeah.
So the screenplay ones and the above the line. I mean, animated feature went to The Boy and the Heron. I didn't think that was going to happen. I thought it was going to be Spider-Verse. but it went to The Boy and the Heron, which I hadn't seen at the time. I've
It's
since
now,
seen
though.
The Boy and the
You've
Heron.
got some opinions on it.
I thought it was shite. I didn't think it was very good. I mean, you hate anime in general, so
That's
I
why I've
can't
not
see
seen
why
it.
you'd like it.
Yeah, I'd probably...
Yeah, I didn't like it. I mean, I thought Spider-Verse was better, but Robot Dreams was very much my favorite of that lineup. I thought Robot Dreams was really quite good, actually. I thought Robot Dreams was a really
watched
nice. But yeah, Boy and the Heron, shite. Elemental, I didn't think was that amazing.
It
I
was
still haven't seen
fine.
Nimona. Have you seen Nimona?
No, I've only seen Spider-Verse and Elemental of this lot.
Yeah, Nimona looks a bit terrible from an animation
Yeah,
perspective.
it
I'm
looks
gonna
like
be
it
honest.
has, doesn't it?
Anyway, best adapted screenplay went to American Fiction, which I think was very deserved. That's probably my favorite in that lineup. Yeah, I know a lot of people who don't love American Fiction and think like half of it's bad. Those people are wrong. I think both halves work very well together.
Yeah.
I think it's a very good. I think it's a very good film. I think American Fiction's a fucking great film, actually.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it, and yeah, I
One of the
agree.
best films in the
I'd say of
lineup.
these five, it's definitely the most deserving.
But yeah, that American Fiction would definitely have been my choice in the lineup because I definitely liked it more than Barbie. I liked it more than Oppenheimer because like Oppenheimer I really liked, but the script is not the best part of that film if I'm being like entirely honest. Poor Things, which I also really liked, and The Zone of Interest, which I also quite liked, but it's not really a story in that film. Like it is kind of just
it's.
series of events.
I mean, I would have been furious if it won an Oscar because that meant that somebody wrote a scene where a guy just walks around his house turning all the lights off, and apparently that's Oscar winning.
And then Best Original Screenplay went to Anatomy of a Fall, which I think is fair of that lineup. I probably would have given it
I'll
to May
allow it.
December.
I'd have given it to The Holdovers personally.
Yeah, I definitely would have given it to May December though, which is really
Not seen that.
great film nominations. It's really good. You should actually watch it. It's very good. It's
I want to
Natalie
watch it.
Portman should have been nominated for Best Actress because she was maybe the best lead female performance last year before rather.
It would.
And we've got Best Supporting Actress, Divine Joy Randolph in The Holdovers. Fair enough.
Be fair, I think.
Wasn't a very good lineup that year, to be honest. It was a pretty weak selection of nominees. I mean, Emily Blunt is fine in Oppenheimer, but I didn't need an Oscar for that, a nom for that. Danielle Brooks and Color Purple, I haven't seen it. America Ferrera and Barbie is dumb.
Curious choice.
Well, let's just be honest. America Ferrera in Barbie is weird. Like, cause the only reason she's there is because of the monologue scene.
Oh yeah.
Which
she performs it well, but I don't think she's Oscar worthy.
Yeah. I mean, I probably would have nominated two of the supporting actresses from Saltburn for actress, if I'm being like
the sister
entirely
or
honest.
Rosamund Pike. I probably would have nominated.
Yeah, at least one of them I would have nominated, if not two of them.
Yeah, same.
Then Robert Downey Jr. Best Supporting Actor.
Fair, I think.
Fair.
Earned.
I thought he was very good. I would have given it to Mark Ruffalo or Ryan Gosling. Or maybe De Niro?
I think I probably would have given it to Ryan Gosling because I love seeing him do goofy shit.
Yeah.
I think it's hilarious.
Ryan Gosling was fantastic in Barbie.
Sublime.
And it was a big controversy because he got nominated and Margot Robbie wasn't nominated for Best Actress, even though they're in literally different categories. Like,
yeah,
I don't understand. It's not sexist. They're literally in different categories. If it was like a combined thing where they were both competing in like a big acting thing and he got nominated and she didn't, then you would have like a point. But it's like he got nominated in supporting actor, she didn't get nominated in lead actress. It's not a sexism.
Yeah, they're in two very different camps.
But yeah, Emma Stone, Best Actress for Poor Things. I think fair enough.
I think she earned that. I would have given it to her.
There was some controversy because Lily Gladstone didn't win, but she wasn't that amazing in it.
Pedigree.
She's also not a lead performance. She's in it about as much as De Niro is. and De Niro is like obviously a supporting role in that film. Like, come the fuck on. But yeah, Emma Stone won, very deserved. I also wouldn't have minded Sandra Hüller winning for Anatomy of a Fall. I thought she
Yeah, I
was
think that
also
would have been nice there if
pretty
she won.
excellent. Cillian Murphy for Oppenheimer, fair enough. Cillian Murphy's a fantastic actor, I think.
He is. He's a good boy. I like him.
I mean, he's in one of my favorite interviews ever, where he's just like, "No, I'm Irish," and he's
I
like,
love.
"Oh, so
Was it
you're
him and
British?"
Tom
He's like,
Hardy?
"No." Yes, him and Tom Hardy. I think this was when Inception was out, and they were
Yeah.
doing promotional material. And he's like, "No, I'm Irish," and he's like, "Oh, so you're British?" And he's like, "No, I'm Irish."
And Tom Hardy's just sat next to him going, "No, he's Irish. He's Irish."
And I'm just like, the amount of people who don't know the difference between British and Irish, it's like,
Yeah, it's not that
you should
difficult.
really. But yeah, Cillian Murphy, very deserving. I wouldn't have minded a Jeffrey Wright win either. I thought Jeffrey Wright was also
I'm that,
very
and
good.
also maybe even more fine with Paul Giamatti winning.
I there was definitely a period where I thought maybe Paul Giamatti could win.
Yeah, he would have been the kind of upset.
Yeah, and there was also they did I feel like you might have seen this. They because they had like actors introducing the nominees, and there's Nicolas Cage just introducing Paul Giamatti, and he's just absolutely Nicolas Cage on just like Nicolas Cage is just it's I'll edit a clip in here, but I'll have to find it.
The greats go above and beyond in their commitment to a role, just as Daniel Day-Lewis stayed in character as Lincoln. This past year, Paul Giamatti was so committed that for the character to have a lazy eye, he wore a soft contact lens during the entire shoot, which made him blind in that eye while filming. Would I have done that? Hell yes. But the point is, you did do it, Paul. And you were brilliant again. Bravo.
Send it to you because it's just Nicolas Cage introducing Paul Giamatti, and he's just yelling, like he's giving us a nice speech, and then he just starts yelling at Nicolas Cage.
Well, isn't that
Paul
just his whole
Giamatti.
career? He'll just be having a perfectly normal delivery.
Yeah.
He'll just yell.
Yeah, it's great though, because it's like he's like being polite about it, but he's just yelling at Paul Giamatti.
But he's
Paul
saying
Giamatti's
things
just
like,
loving
"Paul Giamatti is a really great guy."
Yeah, no, he's just like he's not because Paul Giamatti he wore like an eye prosthetic, and he's like, now would I have done that? Absolutely, but you did it too, sir, and you were excellent again. Bravo! And he's just yelling at just the best. Nicolas Cage is the best. I mean, come on, we both agree Nicolas Cage is like the best, one of the best things.
He's the gift that keeps on
can't-
giving.
Yeah. But yeah, Christopher Nolan, he won Best Director.
Time.
Very fair, I think. Greta Gerwig snubbed, but to be honest, I don't know if she should. I don't think she should have been nominated.
Yeah, I don't think the direction of Barbie's that incredible.
And then Best Picture went to Oppenheimer because
it's all everyone was talking about.
Yeah, I mean, it came out, made like $900 million, like the highest grossing biopic film ever made, I think. One of the highest grossing R-rated films of all time. It's one of Christopher Nolan's most like highest grossing films because I mean his films make a lot of money. Oppenheimer won 7 Oscars.
Wow,
that is ridiculous. Everything Everywhere All at Once also won 7 Oscars. It's been a while since films have like won like a bajillion Oscars. Like it's been a long time since we had a film win like more than like 4, maybe 5 Oscars. I also actually want to quickly touch on the Best Original Song category. Not because I care about the songs really, but because they played "I'm Just Ken," which was the best Oscars performance it was genuinely fantastic. The last one I remember the only other one that I think is great was Hugh Jackman's like opening monologue.
Oh yeah.
In the 2009, which is just also incredible. I mean, Hugh Jackman is the greatest showman. Clearly, he's just absolutely phenomenal. But yeah, I'm Just Ken, and I think you messaged me because I posted about it, and you were like, "Is that fucking Slash?"
Yeah, Slash was there. I wasn't expecting Slash to show up.
Yeah, he was. Yes, Flash was there. It was Mark Ronson was there. All the Kens were there.
I was gonna say, I
There
saw
was
Gatwa and stuff.
Shooty, Gatwa, Seem Kingsley did there, and Ryan phenomenal. I think he's very good. Like he's very good at singing it. And it was phenomenal. And I'm like, man, I wonder if this. I'm like, because this should win just based on this performance. This should absolutely win. Like, and I mean, I thought it was already my favorite song in the category, but I was like, man, I wonder how many of them are like, man, maybe I should have voted for this instead because this is like one of like
mistake.
Yeah, but no, genuinely, I was like, oh man, they're gonna actually. I was like, man, I hope this song gets nominated because I just have to see Ryan
ridiculous
Gosling.
song will win an Oscar, and then it didn't.
Yeah, I was just like, I just need to see Ryan Gosling perform it, and he performed it amazingly, and it was fantastic, and it's genuinely.
I've followed Ryan Gosling into battle.
Where I see love, she sees a friend. What will it take for her to see the man behind the tent and fight for me? I'm just kidding. So hey, check me out, yeah, I'm just kidding. My name's Ken. Put that manly hand in mine. So hey, world, check me out. I'm just kidding. Just kidding.
But yeah, that's the Oscars. Well, let's move on.
Yeah.
But anyway, Oppenheimer won most of the awards, so yeah. Then we next film is Ghostbusters: Frozen Empire. Yeah. So Ghostbusters, Frozen Empire. To refresh people's memory and maybe tell you because I don't know if I've talked about Ghostbusters with you before, Barney. I like Ghostbusters, but it's like if you grew up in the 80s, you'd love it. Like I feel like a lot of people who were like kids in the 80s love Ghostbusters, and I'm not a kid from the 80s, so I don't have. And I like the film. I like the first Ghostbusters. I don't mind Ghostbusters 2. The 2016 Ghostbusters is shit. And Ghostbusters Archive was the fourth one.
That's it.
Yeah. So that's how I feel about Ghostbusters. It's fine, but it's not like a Back to the Future thing where it's like, oh, that's a great 80s movie. It's like it's a good 80s movie.
I really, really like the first Ghostbusters. It's not an absolute favorite, but I am a big fan. I like Ghostbusters too. I didn't think the remake was that terrible, but it's certainly not that good. And
No.
Afterlife was whatever.
So yeah,
I
Ghostbusters.
was surprisingly, I enjoyed this more. I didn't think I would.
Yeah, I actually enjoyed this more than Afterlife and the 2016 Ghostbusters. At least maybe more than Ghostbusters 2. I'm not
in like as much as Ghostbusters 2.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's not great. Admittedly, I'll be honest with you. It's not great, but it's
all right.
I had a fun time watching it.
Yeah.
James Acaster getting work. I'm all on board with that. Kumail Nanjiani is also good to see him getting work after his Marvel film went fucking tits up. And
I want more
which is
good.
quite sad.
I want another big sick. I want something like that again.
Yeah, well, he's making a film with his wife again. They're writing another film together.
Excellent.
I don't know if it's. I mean, maybe it's another like biographical thing, but they are making they are writing another film together.
I'm on
I
board.
don't know
with
what it is they're writing, but they are. But yeah, I mean, I really like Kumail Nanjiani just in general.
So do I.
I mean, listening to Harmontown, he's on a lot of the early days of Harmontown, and he's really funny on Harmontown. Silicon Valley, I thought he was really great in.
Let's watch that.
I know you haven't seen Silicon Valley, but it's fantastic. I mean, it's
Yeah.
Mike Judge, so Mike Judge is. I really like Mike Judge's work. In general.
I was going to watch King of the.
Yeah, but yeah, Ghostbusters: Frozen Empire was very watchable. I didn't. Yeah, I thought it was. I liked it.
Yeah.
I didn't love
I
it.
don't have that much to say
Well-
about it, really. It was good.
Yeah. I mean, I liked most of the cast. I don't like that Finn Wolfhard still keeps getting jobs.
I was about to mention that. Finn Wolfhard, he just kind of makes everything he's in that little bit shitter.
I don't understand. I know how he's bamboo because people like Stranger
He's tricked
Things.
us all.
Yeah, no, people like Stranger Things. So they think they like him because he's in Stranger Things, even though there are some.
He gave a passable performance when he was very young.
But I mean, we've got Paul Rudd. I mean, I like Paul Rudd. I don't think he's like a great. I think Paul Rudd's a really charismatic, likable.
Yeah, he's got a good
Star.
screen presence that you can just.
But I wouldn't like describe him as like a great actor in like sort of
it's-
the.
It was just fun to have him around, you know.
But that's fine. I don't need him to be a great actor. You know, he's
I'm
just
fine,
an
bro.
inherently likable guy.
Yeah, he's just a good dude.
Yeah, Carrie Coon, who I think is pretty solid. I like her in. What was that? Sorry, you cut out a bit there.
But yeah, she's doing decent work.
Yeah, I mean, again, none of the actors are really given strong material to work with. I'll be honest.
It's not
here.
really an actor's film, is it?
Yeah, and of course you got Dan Aykroyd, Bill Murray, Ernie Hudson. Ernie Hudson, by the way, is fucking jacked.
I know, right?
I'm that's remarkable because he's like 70,
Mm.
but he's fucking huge. He's
He's
79.
Oh my god!
He's nearly an 80-year-old man, and he looks like he would be in his like 50s. Like he does not look like an 80-year-old.
Incredible. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, I'm surprised they haven't. No, I understand. Yeah, I was gonna say I don't understand why they haven't made more, but I do know why. The cast didn't want to do it. That's why they didn't make more of them. That's why they never made a Ghostbusters 3 with Harold Ramis, because they just didn't do it. And I just hear so many stories where Bill Murray's
I
like,
assume that Bill Murray and him had kind of had a falling out, so that.
well, yeah, that I can believe. Like, I think Bill Murray's a great actor, but he definitely comes across.
He's a dick.
He definitely falls out with people a lot,
Yeah.
and I don't. And there's so many things where it's like, they would send him like scripts, like, oh, here's a script for Ghostbusters 3. It's like, I don't like it. You should kill me off in the first 10 minutes, and then they just wrote the script and they killed him off in 10 minutes. And I'm like, they're literally gonna do anything to make you sign on, Bill. Like they will do literally anything for you to come back. Like that's how desperate they were to get a third Ghostbusters film off the ground. There's like, yeah, we'll even kill you off if you want to. We just want a third one.
Do anything you ask, Bill.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have a whole lot to say on it. I liked it.
I'm happy to move on.
I don't need another Ghostbusters though. I'll be completely honest. I don't need another Ghostbusters film. Like I'll see it if they make a new one,
For a
but
while, I don't really need any more.
yeah, it's like I'm kind of good with Ghostbusters, man. I give Ghostbusters Frozen Empire a 7. It's maybe a bit generous, but I thought it was. I didn't have a problem with it really.
Yeah, I'm in that area. I'd give it 6.5. So watchable enough. It'll
Yeah.
do.
And we follow that with Civil War, Alex Garland's film. I really like Alex Garland's work.
I've only
Can-
seen it and Ex Machina or Ex Machina?
I think it's Ex Mach. I've heard Ex Machina more than I've heard.
Yeah,
Ex
that's
Machina.
the express like Deus Ex Machina, but I'm not sure if it's
Yeah.
a robot.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the only directorial film other than this that I've seen, and I've seen stuff like Sunshine and 28 Days Later, which he wrote.
It got a weird reception. I'm gonna be
It was
honest.
very mixed, wasn't it?
Yeah, let me look at what like its reviews were, because I It's got an 81% on Rotten Tomatoes, but that's for critics. So I just want to see what the audience says. So I feel like the audience might be lower. The audience gave it 69%, so the audience didn't like it that much. I think a lot of people wanted it to be something. I
why,
think a lot of people. One complaint I've heard a lot, which I think is bullshit, is that the film is both sidesing it, and I'm like, no. Well, first of all, no, it's not.
Yeah, I never
B,
got that.
I mean, it's not. First of all, if you're seriously gonna watch a film about a Republican president dismantling the FBI and running a third term as
Running an illegal
president,
third term.
like, if that doesn't tell you what side of the political spectrum this is on, that's not, like,
Yeah.
you're just dumb. Like, you just don't know,
Just being
like,
fake.
and it's just like the fact that this could very possibly become somewhat real in like a few months' time is quite
That's kind of what.
concerning to me.
In some ways, this film
Like,
kind of gets into horror territory, and that's because it feels
Yeah.
quite, that
it feels
happening. Maybe.
yeah. It's like, oh man, this might actually happen in a few months' time, and that's really concerning to me. I mean, this is my favorite of Alex Garland's films. I think it's really great. I really enjoyed it. There's a lot about it to like, and I mean, I really liked it. I'll get into more specifics later, but on the whole, I am a fan of what this film was
You
doing.
saw it in the cinema, didn't you?
I did.
I kept saying to myself, "Oh, I'll go see that soon," and then I never did. So I watched it yesterday,
I think
very late to the party.
I think the sound design would have worked much. Not to say that the sound design wouldn't work like at home, but I think it would have worked in a. I remember when I saw it, the sound design.
I'll say now, it didn't particularly jump out at me.
Yeah, I thought the sound design when I saw it was fantastic. I thought it was really quite. I mean, the film on the whole is really quite. It's quite. There are elements that are like quite unnerving. There are moments where I'm like, huh, this is actually quite. Like, I enjoy stuff that looks at like downfall of like society and like just like shit, shit goes, everything just fucking goes to hell. Like, I like that in films. Because I mean, this is like, I guess, like a dystopian film, not like in like a sort of a traditional sense, but it's got elements of that where it's like, oh, this is quite. Yeah, there's some really. I mean, the best scene in the film is the Jesse Plemons scene.
Yes, that's what I wanted to talk about. That's the scene that I've been hearing about for the last 7 months, however long it's been.
Oh, it's
it was
fantastic.
in the trailer quite prominently.
Yeah,
and I was enjoying the film up to that point. I was having a good time. And that scene happened, and I was like, "Oh my god, this scene's fucking amazing."
Yeah, it's. I think. I mean, I think Jesse Plemons in general really good. I really like Jesse Plemons.
I think he's amazing in everything.
Yeah, I think is he? Is it? I don't know if I underrate because I think a lot of people really do like him. I just I really look forward.
But he's not spoken about as much as he should be. When he is spoken about,
I look forward to the day where he's got like a big I look forward to the day where he's got like a big Oscar, like lead actor Oscar film. Yeah, he's genuinely really fantastic. It's a really quite unnerving scene because it's like, man, this is not like they're in a bad situation. These people are, they're gonna. Yeah, he's got the red like sunglasses, and he just like shoots that guy. He just fucking kills us.
So
like,
that's
really fantastic.
That guy.
Yeah, he's fantastic.
The bit where he's like, "Where are you from?" "I'm from Hong Kong." "Oh, China." Shoots the guy. China.
Yeah. But yeah, we've also got Kirsten Dunst as I don't remember the character's name, but she's the lead.
Yeah,
Lee, yeah. And I like Kirsten Dunst quite a bit. I think she's
I do.
a solid actor. I think
Yeah,
Fargo
depends.
she's fantastic in Fargo.
Yeah, I think that's probably her best work.
I mean, that's where she met Jesse Plemons, and that's where they got
Indeed,
married.
and now they just pop up and stuff together all the time.
Yeah. Wagner Moura, I think.
Yeah, that's
is
he voiced the wolf in Puss in Boots.
Yeah,
2.
he was fantastic in that.
Yeah, he's
Genuinely fantastic performance in that
I
film.
really enjoyed him here as well.
Yeah, I thought he was doing decent work. We've got Kaylee Spaney, who is on the up at the moment.
I read her name. I saw her in something else recently. Well, this year at least.
She's in Alien Romulus.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah, she's the main woman in that. She's going to be in the next Knives Out film.
That's good.
She played Prisley in the Priscilla film that came out a couple years ago. So yeah, she's on the up. She's getting work. You've also got Nick Offerman, who I thought she was doing a solid job. And then Nick Offerman, who I love. Nick Offerman, I think he's fantastic in.
Step aside, tool of the state.
Again, pretty much. Yeah, I will say this: I don't like Nick Offerman when he died. It just doesn't.
It looks
look
wrong,
right.
doesn't it?
Like,
he needs a mustache or a beard. Otherwise, it's just wrong.
Yeah. I just thought Civil War was really good. I really liked it. I thought there were some really good scenes in it.
I think it can be quite episodic. It kind of we're going to go here, something happens. We're going to go here, something happens. But I like all the
that does happen a bit.
I think all chunks work nicely.
Yeah, it's just as a whole.
Yeah, it just doesn't quite move that smoothly. Yeah. But I can go.
I think it works, and I think the sort of final sequence where they're like breaking into the White House, I thought that was quite good. I thought that whole sort of sequence was
I think the whole
sequence.
ending, the last 15-20 minutes, really kind of stick the landing for the film.
Yeah, I think that really brought it all together really nicely. Because I mean, this isn't a film about politics; it's a film about journalism. That's what the film is.
The politics are really just kind of a backdrop to tell this story.
It's more just backdrop for the story of like this is the device we're going to use.
Yeah, more or less. I think people are reading this film as being far more political than it actually is.
Yeah, I remember when trailers were coming out, there was a bit where it's like California and Texas have got an alliance, and all these Americans were like, why the fuck is this British guy writing this when he's like got California and Texas like together? And it's like, motherfucker, no American would make this film. Like, no American writer would be like, let's make that like there's no way. I cannot see any American writer being like, you know what? Let's make this film, guys. Like they just wouldn't. I an 8. It's a low 8, but I give it an 8.
Yeah, I gave it a little bit shaky, but I'm going with it 7.5 out of 10. So very solid score, I think, actually.
Yeah, it's fair enough. Then we move on to Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. Now, you joined me for the first half of our Planet of the Apes retrospect.
Yes, I wasn't there when you talked about this.
You did not. So you didn't have the opportunity to give your feelings on because you hadn't seen the prequel films at the time that we.
No, I hadn't seen them yet, and I watched them in the lead up to this.
Yeah. So, I mean, do you want to quickly run through your thoughts on those films?
Yeah. I really like them. I think there's some of the, when you say modern, it's not really Hollywood blockbusters, but this is the sort of thing that I want from high end, Hollywood production. Obviously the visual effects are incredible.
Oh God, yeah, absolutely.
And Andy Serkis, great performance there. Caesar, I think, he's what really makes those films. Oh, actually, no, that's not fair on other bits of the film, but he's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a really great trilogy, actually. I think it's probably one of my favorite trilogies I can think of off the top of my head.
Yeah, because I watched War for the Planet of the Apes, and I don't know if they'd announced they were gonna make a new one yet. I'm not entirely sure I had seen them. But they announced they were doing a new one, and I was like, okay. And I was skeptical. I'm like, okay. And I was like, oh, it's the guy who did the Maze Runner films. That's not a good start.
I didn't know he did the
Not
Maze
strong.
Runner.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know how I feel
I'm
about
not.
this.
I'm not a big. I've
And
seen 2 of those, and I'm not a big fan.
Yeah, and I just sort of went in being like, well, okay, I'm not. I when I did it, because Harry was on the second Apes episode we did, and I think we both were kind of very skeptical. We were just sort of like,
The world
well,
was.
how are they gonna like? This is just we just were like, this isn't gonna be good. Like, we didn't think it was gonna be a particularly
Yeah, I wasn't confident
good
going in.
film, and I went in with very low expectations. I was like, okay, well, I mean, I'll see
I
it.
didn't really
I
go
like
in with
this franchise.
but I went in with apprehension.
Yeah, I was like, if this ends up being the one, I'm not gonna be surprised. I think I went in basically thinking this will probably be my least one. And then I saw it, and it
That's it.
was really fucking good, actually.
Yeah, it's great. I think I like it more than the first
Like,
2.
I like it more than Dawn. Maybe I like it more than Rise. I'm not entirely sure on that.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah, I definitely like it more than Dawn. Rise, on the fence.
Yeah,
It's really good.
Dawn is the weakest of these films, even though everyone seems to think they get better as they go. Or at least thought the first they go along, which I just don't get, because Dawn is not that as good as Rise, but War for the Planet of the Apes is the best one.
Yeah, definitely.
War for the Planet of the Apes is fucking phenomenal. But I was genuinely.
I say this on the previous ones. So I didn't get to say this earlier, but what really got me excited to watch this one, one of my lecturers, because we're talking about it at uni, one of my lecturers said, I was like, oh, I've seen the first 2. I just need to watch War. And he said, oh, you'll like that, because about halfway through it just becomes The Great Escape with monkeys. And I was like, shut up and take my money, I'm in.
But yeah, I thought Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes was really, really good. I did not expect that. I was like, okay, this will probably be alright. And then it was just really good. And I was like, look, the visual effects, as expected, still phenomenal. Like, the visual effects are just... Oh, they're so good.
It's
genuinely like...
So it's an absolute treat for the eyes.
Yeah, I thought... And, when you see some of the sort of mainstream, like, other, like, when you see some of the superhero shit that gets...
Yeah, it look crap.
It's like, man, that CGI looks awful, yeah. But this is, like, the way it just... They seamlessly blend these CGI with, like, real people. I'm like...
Yeah, it looks so good.
Yeah, I thought it was really great on that
I'm
level.
really glad.
People who don't like...
Yeah,
but
I don't trust these people. I don't associate with them. What I liked with this one is that they really separated it from the Caesar stuff. I think having that big old time gap, good choice.
Yes.
Is that what?
And I like
Caesar's
that
appearance, because he's still being talked about in that. But in a way that doesn't seem too. Oh yeah, you like Caesar. We'll talk about him.
Yeah, I like that the film, they sort of use like Caesar is there in Caesar, but he's almost used as like a religious figure to like how some people will justify a religion to be like, oh well, the Bible says gay people should go to hell.
Exactly what it is that we get in the real world. What's his name? King Proxima. What he
Proxima,
does
yeah.
is he twists religious past for his own gain.
Yeah, and I think like it's quite there's a real poignancy to that I wasn't expecting. Like this film is actually quite
Not moving.
yeah, it's quite this I don't it's got something to say which I did not expect. I was like,
Yeah.
how is it that the Ape movie has got so much to say? Like, how does that even like how does that happen?
I think that's why these are so good because they're Hollywood films and they have great action in that, but they're also quite intelligent and ask you to think about things.
Yeah, it really I was just sat there watching and I'm like, huh, it's like really talking about like delving into some interesting topics. There's like it's saying something, like, it's got a point to make.
That makes it well.
And yeah, I thought it was great. The action sequences I thought were really great as well. There was
Yeah,
a lot of fun to
I
be
I
had.
love that we got a little reprise of the apes hunting humans again. Haven't seen that
Yeah,
for
I thought that was really great.
and also I think they
I
characters, and I think that goes a long way.
you like the characters? Sorry, you just cut
Yeah.
out a bit there.
Yeah. I think the characters in this film is really good, which goes a long way
Yeah,
to
I
make
mean, look, no, like Noah is is obviously not on the level
He's no
of
Caesar.
Caesar as a character,
He's good.
but I still think he's. Look forward to see where they take him now. Like,
Yeah.
he'll be like this next generation almost.
I really liked what's the orangutan that he hangs out with for a bit. I really liked him.
Yeah, I mean, I like orangutans just in general. I
Yeah.
think orangutans are pretty
Seem pretty cool.
Well, I like apes in general. I like most apes. I
Yeah.
see lots of videos of apes just doing shit. Not chimps though. Chimps are fucking psycho.
Chimpanzees are
Not-
fucking
not-
feral.
Yeah. But I'm really interested in seeing where they take this because I believe they've announced they're doing another film and that's fine. I'm happy if they're gonna be like at this.
An interesting move that we've skipped even further into the future, and the next one's about Robbie Williams. It's an odd way to take the franchise, but
Yeah, I think if they're gonna make more films to this level, I'll keep making them. I like these films. I'm fine with more being made. If this is the level of story they're gonna tell, like fine, keep making them. I'll
Yeah,
keep seeing them.
Yeah, I'm fine with it.
Because I did think like, will they be able to? Like I didn't. That was one of my main concerns. Was like, will this work without Caesar? And it does. It does work without Caesar.
I think this is kind of proof of concept that we can do more films.
Yeah. It's like how Evil Dead Rise was proof of concept that they can like make Evil Dead films without Ash. Like, oh yeah, we can do this. We can put 2 Evil Dead films into production without Ash, and they'll work out. So yeah, this is again another film. I won't say where it is, but it is in my top 10 films of the year.
Yeah,
and
same
I'll go into where it is next week, just so I've got a bit more time to catch up on a few things. Although I think I've seen most of what's probably going to be in my top 10 of the year.
I'm still missing quite a few things. Where we currently are, my top 10 still looks pretty.
Yeah, sorry. I give it an 8, a very solid 8. That could go up to a 9 on a potential.
Yeah, I'm kind of in that camp as well. Yeah, no, very strong 8. 8 out of 10. Bad Boys.
Sweet. Next up, we've got Bad Boys. Is it Ride or Die? That's this one, right?
Yeah, I kept forgetting. Is this one Bad Boys for Life or is it Ride? But yeah, this one's Ride or Die.
The titles should have been swapped. This should be Bad Boys for Life, and then they replace the 4 with the number 4.
Oh, of course.
Because that fits. That's why it should be Bad Boys for Life.
Ride or
Die, I hate when films do that, but scene. Yeah, Bad Boys. I mean, I don't mind a bit of Bad Boys, but I'm also not in love with Bad Boys. unlike my guest,
Yeah.
Alan, who's quite in. Well, he's into the first one. He's not as into 2
He does
and
like the
3.
first one, doesn't
I think he gave it an 8, if I recall.
he? Yeah, that rings a bell. Well, my stance on Bad Boys is that I'm not really that big a fan. I think I gave the first 3, I gave them all like 6 out of 10. Like they're fine, watchable, but
Yeah.
not a big fan. So I was kind of expecting more of the same here. And I think this one's by far my favorite.
I think I prefer Bad Boys 2 and maybe Bad Boys 1. Possibly. I'm not entirely sure.
Yeah.
But I thought it was perfectly fine. It was a very disposable action film.
Like, for this type of film, I'm quite happy with this. Good.
Yeah.
Made
You got
a decent film. Hold on.
you got Smith after he just ruined his reputation forever.
There's a bit in the climax of this film where Martin Lawrence smacks Will Smith, and I was like, "Oh, he's on the receiving end this time."
Yeah. Well, when I did Bad Boys, when I was talking, he was like, "There's got to be a moment where they do a reference to that. There's got to be a bit where Martin Lawrence slaps Will Smith." He's like, "There's no way they don't. They should absolutely do that."
Right.
But yeah, Bad Boys.
Well,
Yeah.
Speaking
thought
of
it was-
I actually quite like the way this film's directed. I think it's they make it interesting to look at.
Yeah, I thought it. I to be honest, tell a difference. I think there was much difference between these, between this and the
Michael
other
Bay.
one. Nah.
There is such a difference between this and Michael Bay.
Well, I don't like this as much as the Michael Bay ones. That I prefer Bad Boys 1. Or I think I definitely prefer Bad Boys 2, but I might prefer Bad Boys 1 to this one as well. And I don't like Michael Bay. Like, I'm not a Michael Bay fan. But like,
I don't know.
I didn't have a
Mexican appears in his films. Oh, comedy gold, that.
I'm not saying Bad Boys the first 2 are like funny. I mean, I don't think that any of them are particularly funny. I just don't. It's like it's just another Bad Boys film. I didn't get anything out of it that I didn't get out of the other ones.
I mean, I did not say I got much out of it. I just liked it more. I mean, I can't even explain why. For some reason, I just did.
There is Rhea Seehorn.
Yeah,
in it,
I
which I thought
remember
was-
when it said she was going to be in it. I was like, "What?" And then I forgot she was
Yeah.
in it, and it popped up, and I was like, "Oh yeah."
Yeah, and I'm like, oh, this is what she's cashing those Better Call Saul checks in for to do Bad Boys. Okay, that's what she's gonna do now. But she's got Yeah.
Oh, great.
elegant show out, hopefully. So
Anyway.
I mean, I should say about Bad Boys.
No, I
Like,
don't.
I really don't have.
I
I give it
thought
a 6. I think it might be like
Oh.
the weakest of the 4, but they're really indistinguishable. Like, I don't really care.
I gave this one a 7, and yeah, I can't remember what happens in which of these films.
Yeah.
Hey, this one had a big crocodile. That's something.
To Inside Out 2, which was surprising. Well, it wasn't like a surprising hit. I just didn't think it would make $1 billion. I expected it to do all right. I didn't expect it to be the highest grossing film of the year, though, which is
People
I
love
believe at the time
Inside Out. I'm not that surprised, I suppose. It's good. Pixar.
Yeah,
Not great.
it's good Pixar, but it's not great Pixar.
Exactly.
Yeah, this is considerably weaker than the first one. I
Yeah.
would say.
I'm not that enthusiastic about this one, if I'm honest.
Yeah, it didn't.
It's quite a film, but yeah.
I thought it was all right. I went to see this with some family. It was a fucking packed screening I went to.
Yeah.
Like it's like the most full I've seen the cinema in a long time. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know, something about it just didn't work. I thought the new emotions they introduced were a bit meh.
I mean,
Like-
bizarre action.
Yeah, look, I understand the need to be
Oh.
like need new emotions. Like I totally get that. But you introduce like what, 4 or 5 new emotions, and only one of them has a character.
Yeah, only one of them's really
Like, what's-
relevant.
Yeah, and that's Maya Hawke, who I thought was very good
So-
actually.
Yeah. I fuck, I've lost my train of thought now. Yeah, there are emotions that I don't think need their own thing. Because they're kind of combination.
Yeah, I didn't. So there was what ennui.
Anxiety is like that's just fear.
Yeah, it's just a
Like,
sub.
it's literally the mental disorder of having anxiety.
Yeah, like anxiety is just a sub section of fear, basically. And you've got envy. Is that there's like the little tiny fucker
Oh, is that I remember who that one was. Which one's Ayo
that's Dibri. Yeah.
Yeah, that was
Io. I think it's Io Dibri. Is which again she just didn't feel. You've got that woman whose name I still can't pronounce as Ennui or Ennui. It was just like, what is the point of this character?
Oh, the one from Blue is the warmest color. Is that her?
Yeah, Adele.
Exarchopoulos.
Yeah.
I think that's it.
Paul Walter Hauser was embarrassment. Did he have any lines of
I was gonna say,
dialogue?
did he
Because I don't
speak at any
remember
point?
any. Yeah, I don't remember him
think
having any lines of
He might have like
dialogue.
one line or something. But I don't remember him saying anything.
And then you've got June Squibb as nostalgia.
Oh yeah, there's like an old lady one, which yeah.
It doesn't make any sense to me. Like, it's completely pointless that they're there. Like, it's completely pointless that like most of them are there. It's just like
pretty much. Yeah, the only
like
actually really
anxiety is the only one with a character.
anxiety. I mean, embarrassment does one thing that kind of affects the plot slightly, but apart from that,
Yeah, there's no. I like if they're gonna make a third one off the back of the success of this one, and if they're gonna run with this, they introduce 5 new emotions in the next film. Like that's not gonna work.
one of them's going to be libido.
Well, that's it. Like the next film, Riley is gonna be like a teenager, and that's when
Raging.
you get into get in. I like if they make a third one. I'd like one of the next emotions to be like depression or something. Like it's basically. I mean, I know it's basically
like the natural way to go.
sadness, but like, yeah,
I think
it's like
really
I mean, it is
hardcore.
like a form of sadness. Yeah, just
But yeah, it's not the same thing as
go like
Yeah,
I mean, obviously they're not going to do that, but
no, but I wish
it would
they
be amazing if they did. But I also felt like the new emotions didn't really do shit either. Like
No,
Joy went through basically the same character arc again.
yeah, sometimes we need to feel certain emotions or something.
Yeah, and it's
Yeah.
like that's literally the same character arc again. Plus, they didn't, they locked like Mindy Kaling and Bill Hader didn't came back because they lowballed them, and I'm like, I don't understand why you would do that. Like, as Mindy Kaling and Bill Hader, like, why would you do that? Why would you lowball them? I think they offered them like 100,000 to return, and they offered Amy $1 million, and I'm like, well, yeah, I wouldn't take that. That's
Yeah, of course not.
ridiculous.
Absurd.
Like, I get that she's the protagonist, but like it's a considerably higher.
Yeah, that's like 2% of what she's making.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. Yeah, I just thought it was like again, it was fine. It's just like it's Pixar post Toy Story 3, and that it's like fine, but it's just not that
Yeah.
good. It's not as good as it could
I,
be.
I think I'm happy not to have to watch any more scenes of quote realistic panic attacks. I've seen like 5 of them now. I'm happy to move on.
Look, Puss in Boots 2 did it very well.
Yeah, no, I think we can leave that behind.
And it's just like Puss in Boots did it really well, so we don't need it. We don't need to do this anymore, guys.
So I've seen Ted Lasso do it as well. Yeah, I'm happy to call it a day.
Yeah. Does the bear do it? I feel like there's got to be a bit in the bear.
Yeah,
when
at
it
the end of
happens,
season
right?
2
Like,
when he's in the fridge. Yeah, the bear's definitely done it.
Yeah, there's and the bear does it quite decently well. Yeah, it's just like
Yeah.
we don't need any more, guys.
I'm happy to call it a day.
Yeah, I really I was very led because a lot of the yeah, it's the first one, but it's still really great. It's like okay, well I hope I like it. I didn't
this
like
just
it that much. I thought
I don't know if you've seen the first film recently, but were the characters like as annoying as they are in this one and that, or did they just get really annoying in this one?
well I rewatched the first
Couldn't stand
Inside
any of them.
Out for the podcast. Yeah, I did find them quite. I didn't think they were that great. I thought Joy was a bit of an asshole, but that's like kind of the point, really. But I didn't care for any of the characters, really. I mean, the only character I really cared for in the first one was Bing Bong, and then they just fucking
Yeah, Bing Bong was good, but in this one, I just
He was
found
the
everyone
best character.
completely hateable.
Yeah,
Also, Riley in a
there is a weird like come across not well.
they just come across as insufferable.
Yeah, and
Y-
I didn't care.
And I can't stand Riley as a person either. She gets on my nerves so much.
I give him maybe a bit jelly though. Like it's
I-
fine. I didn't dislike watching it. I just didn't see a point in it really.
I gave it a 6. I'm not that into this. I found it annoying,
I mean,
and I didn't.
yeah.
I didn't connect
to be honest,
with it.
Pixar's in a real fucking lull at the moment. Like they're just not
Yeah.
they're just not making particularly good films. Like the last one of theirs they
No.
made that I really liked was probably I thought Soul was really good,
Yeah, Soul was great actually.
but
Yeah.
that was like 4 years ago now. So it's like okay. But yeah, a final film we're going to talk about this week. We're going to talk about Deadpool and Wolverine because I did a Deadpool episode, and I did a new Deadpool. So yeah, I rewatched the Deadpool films for the purposes of the podcast I did on them. I'm not into Deadpool in the way that a lot of people seem to be into Deadpool, probably because I'm, a 21 and I think Deadpool appeals to teenagers. And so I just didn't rewatching it. I didn't find them that funny. Or
I don't think I ever found Deadpool that funny. I've not seen it since Deadpool. Well, either of the first two since Deadpool 2 was coming out. And yeah, I never really clicked with Deadpool. Although I think the second one is a step up, and I do quite like that one. But I don't think it's hilarious, funny. I've never found that.
Well, I think Deadpool and Wolverine. I went pretty packed screening, and I saw it like a week after it had come out. So it was still pretty packed screening, and I mean, I did like it, but like I will concede there are some issues with it. Like it's there are some problems with the film. I'm not and like it's a film or anything. I just really enjoyed it, and I had a lot of fun with it.
I had fun with it, but I don't think it's a particularly great film. I thought it was all right. And I feel like that there are things in there that I could, get something out of. Like, characters and stuff popping up and, actors being in it. But yeah, it just didn't do that much for me.
Okay. I mean, you're not a superhero guy in general. Like you don't
Not
really
really.
care
I
for the
like them, but yeah, I'm not bothered about them.
Yeah, I mean that's the difference. I do like my superhero stuff. I'm not as into it now, but I do enjoy them for the most part. But and I do have a real pleasure for the Fox X-Men.
Yeah, I do quite like those films actually.
Really
I
just
mean, I will say, opening of the film, I was really into it. I
Hmm?
I said the opening of the film, I was really into it. Like I mean, people loved the dancing that he was doing, but I just enjoyed the fact he was fighting
Mhm.
people using Wolverine's skeleton as a weapon.
Yeah, I thought that was great. Yeah, I did like a lot of very obsessed with the whole like him dancing to Bye Bye Bye, and I'm like, it's like
Yeah,
okay. I mean, I've seen this kind of thing done before in, I mean, not just in other films, in other Marvel
Ted
films, like the
Lasso did
opening.
a whole um,
Yeah, Guardians of the Galaxy. There's Peter
yeah.
Quill dancing to that Redbone song. Like I've seen this thing before. Isn't to
I
me.
mean, at least there, I guess it's that.
Yeah, and I was like, how are
And the
they
rest
gonna
of
deal with
the
the fact that yeah, Logan is dead? Like, how are they gonna deal with the fact that like the ending of Logan? Because the ending of Logan, I thought was very powerful. Like, you know, with him dying and everything, I thought that was fantastic. A really great ending to that franchise. I'm like, so how are they gonna do this? And then they just make a joke out of it. I'm like, okay, that's fine. I didn't they okay, fine. And just throwing his body around, just using it as a weapon. I'm like, yep, that's fine.
yeah.
I can do. Yeah. I mean, Ryan Reynolds is. I mean, he's clearly made for this character. Like, this is clearly a character like is met for like made for an actor. Um,
Mm.
the problem is he does just do the same thing in everything I've ever seen him in, and I'm fucking
Yeah,
sick of it now. Like, tired of the
yeah.
Ryan Reynolds.
I don't mind it, but yeah, I'm kind of weary of it, and I have been for some time.
Yeah. I thought Hugh Jackman was quite good in it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's Hugh Jackman playing Wolverine. He's always pretty solid.
Yeah, I like it's hard to dislike Hugh Jackman. I mean, just in general, I think Hugh Jackman's really good.
Yeah, no, I'm pro
I think
Jackman.
about Hugh Jackman, I think he's yeah, I mean he's good again, Hugh Jackman, he's good in this role. Sorry. He's good in the role. And I think that works. I think he works in that role. I kind of didn't really care about the other cast. The villain I thought was a bit
Yeah, I'm not that
Emma
fussed about her.
Corrin, I think is that.
Yeah, that's it.
She was actually. She was
Yeah, I was
quite
reading that.
good in that actually. I thought yeah, there was some funny moments. But some of it was just very like puerile, just like yeah, this is the Deadpool humor. I don't like this kind of humor because it's
Seems
just
quite
not my
obvious.
thing. Yeah,
It's never particularly
as a,
clever
as
either.
a,
Brilliant.
yeah, I mean, I did like it. I thought there's the CGI. It wasn't like amazing.
I mean, it looked pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, I don't hate it. I think some people are overstating how bad the CGI is.
Yeah, I'd say so.
But all I thought. I mean, yeah, it's not amazing CGI, but I don't dislike it.
Yeah, no, I've not got much of an issue with it.
There's yeah some really um but I had a fun time with it. You know, it's a big fan servicey thing. You got Chris Evans in
Yeah,
it. You got Elektra.
fucking
You got Gam. You got all these
I'm a bit
characters in
right.
it, and it's like I'm like, cool, that's fun. That's kind of what I expected from this. I don't know. I'm just kind of like treading water, and I'm just kind of not as into it as I was a few
Yeah,
years ago.
yeah,
So I'm like,
big feeling.
and I'm just kind of like, I don't need. Yeah, I don't know. I'm like, yeah, cool. You're doing new Captain America and shit. Like, yeah, it looks good,
It's good for
but
you.
I don't. Yeah,
It's
I
hard to be that excited.
don't need. Yeah, it is because there's just too much. There's just so much content now that I'm just like it's oversaturated, and I don't need all of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do I liked the film though. I
Yeah.
give it a very 8.
Okay. Yeah, I go 6.5. It was nearly kind of 6 territory, but there was just enough in it that I was like, yeah, no, I can't be too harsh on it, really.
Yeah, and there's also the Madonna, Like a
Oh,
Prayer,
yeah.
which plays, and
Yeah, everyone loved that.
then yeah, you see Wolverine pull the mask down, and like, cool, we get to see the mask finally. But I also
Tell you
like,
actually what was a joke that I did think was really funny.
Mhm.
When they have like nice Canadian Deadpool or whatever he is, and he's like, "Oh, I can break the fourth wall as well," and he looks at the camera and just says, "What is it? The proposal."
that was probably my favorite joke. I did actually find that really funny. I thought
Yeah,
that
that
was
was
actually really funny.
that was the
That's
only joke
definitely
I can remember being like, no, that was actually quite good. I like that.
yeah. I thought that was actually a pretty
I,
good
I,
joke.
I will not accept just having a really ugly dog as a joke, though. However,
I no, it's oh my god. I don't understand the obsession with fucking ugly dogs. I don't understand it.
that
Why
dog
people?
was on the Big Fat Quiz of the Year. They brought her out, just be like, yeah, this is the dog. Here's a question.
Yeah, and I've heard. Oh no, the dog's beautiful. I'm like, no, it's not.
That's
It's
an
not a
ugly
beautiful
fucking
dog.
dog.
It's fucking. Its fucking tongue is hanging out. Its face's shape is just all wrong. Like it's not.
You can
Like
be
let's not try
you
and
can be
make.
hipstery and Woodstock as you want, saying, "Oh, all souls are beautiful." Yeah, sure, but that dog looks fucking ugly.
But yes, that is the first part of the review. We've got many things still to talk about next week, like Megalopolis, the new Francis Ford Coppola film. Oh,
Paddington.
sorry. Got Paddington 3, which I should hope you'll be able to watch. Nosferatu, we'll talk about. Wallace and Gromit. All sorts of things.
Yeah.
All sorts of
It's been
things.
busy because I've not seen quite a few of these.
Yeah. I'll send you through the list of what I'm planning to do, and then we'll see what. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it for this week's episode. I don't know anything to say, Barney.
Well, I hope you've all had a good time, not just here on the podcast, but just in life.
Yeah, Happy New Year.
Yes,
This
of
will be out
course.
after New Year, so I hope you had a good New Year. You lit off some fireworks and scared the shit out of many a dog and cat. Because you're my cats. Don't
my
like
cats were
fireworks.
definitely slightly alarmed at first.
Yeah. Well, my cats, they do that. Airplanes.
Oh, well, they put like their ears back.
Yeah, they do that. I mean, they do that for every. That a car drives by and their ears just go. They just go back. So
They
yeah,
go
they
into
don't
attack
like
mode.
fireworks. We've got a Roomba and they're terrified of it. They see a Roomba and they're just like, well, gotta climb up to a high place.
Dystopian
So-
technology.
Yeah. But yeah, I hope you had good, and I hope you enjoy this year of the podcast. Got some good things planned for the year. And then yeah, I hope you will enjoy what we've got to what we're going to do this year, because quite got some good things. Had some fun things to do that cover this year. But I think that's pretty much it. So thank you all for listening. Thank you, Barney, for joining me for this week.
Of course.
And I'll see you guys all in the next one. Bye.